नमस्सर्वेभ्यः कक्ष्यायां स्वागतं। तु प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। यथा सर्वदा तथा गुरुप्रार्थना सरस्वती प्रार्थना तदनन्तरं सूर्यस्यापि प्रार्थनां कृत्वा अद्य प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ध्येयः सदा सवित्रमण्डलमध्यवर्ती नारायणः सरसिदासनसन्निविष्टः केयूरवान् मकरकुण्डलवान् किरीटी हारी हिरण्मयवपुः धृतशङ्खचक्रः तं सूर्यं जगतां नाथं ज्ञानविज्ञानमोक्षदं महापापहरं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमाम्यहम्। ॐ नमः। तु अस्माभिः अस्मिन् भागे पठनप्रकरणम् अद्य तु परिचयः इत्यस्मिन् भागे अद्य संस्कृतकाव्यानां विषये केचन अंशाः आङ्ग्ले संस्कृते च लिखितमस्ति तत् पठामः अद्य। तो if you know in Samskrita, not only our ancient Shrutis or the Vedas are the beginning of it, it continues in its parampara using Shastric texts, the Darshanas, and other derivative technical Shastriya texts related to Adhyatma, related to moksha, some of them, etc. So those which relate to Vedic philosophy or who stake their source as Vedic and believe in the absolute truth of the things that are said in the Vedas, they are called Vaidika or Astika Shastras, and then there are some Nastika that are also in the whole larger set. But beyond that, there is a massive world. One is the Purana Itihasa world. Puranas and Itihasas principally referring to Ramayana and Mahabharata, and Puranas, there are innumerable number, 18 famous ones and some more. Okay, they all actually try to code the Namaste. So they all try to code the dharmic principles embedded in the Shastras, and that is both the Shrutis and the Smritis, into Katha form. Okay, as renderable Katha form, which gurus can, entertain in an entertaining way, render in the sessions for the public, general public, because access to the Vedic Sanskrit and ability to understand Veda is limited to even some of us who have some practical knowledge of Sanskritam, because it's from the hoary past and some places difficult to interpret. So the practical methods are available. Now another series of Sanskrit literature emerged, solely focused on rasa, solely focused on entertainment value. Many of them also based on historic stories of some of these Puranas and and some of these Itihasa Granthas, and some of them totally independently conceived. Okay, so that parampara is being discussed today under the term Kavya. Okay, but Kavya also encompasses these ancient texts that predate the modern Kavya. Modern in the sense we are talking about past 2 millennia. Okay, not like modern. Much is lost today, sadly. Anyway, so let's read on to understand what is this Kavya, what is that word. Okay, and so you know that Kavya is of 3 kinds. Okay, we are going to relearn if we don't know. Gadya, Padya and Champu. So Gadya means textual, not metric. That is Gadya. Padya means metric. That means verse forms which follow certain meter. Okay, and Champu is a wonderful mixture of both. It's like there is a significant amount of padya, significant amount of gadya, then it becomes champu. If you just throw in few paragraphs of gadya and significantly your padya, it would be still referred to as padya kavya. For example, it would be difficult to categorize Mahabharata as champu just because there are some gadya segments. That doesn't make it champu at all. Whole of Mahabharata you can conclude as eventually padya kavya, because bulk of it is in metric verse form. Ramayanam is also a padya kavya. So even the itihasas are in kavya form. Okay. So and the beauty of Sanskritam is that it doesn't conclude that only metric, those that contain metric content belong to kavya. Kavya can be there in textual form also. They have identified rasas and beauties even in textual form. Though the metric symmetries are missing there, certain metric rules are missing, still they identify that there are certain beauty aspects in how they are composed, and they have classified the kind of rasas and things like that, decorations that happen in Gadya also. Many of them overlap with the nature of decorations that happen in Padya also. So that is that. So Champu, as you know, is a wonderful exotic mix. Okay. So that's the three variety. Kavya can be classified in another way also. That means the same number of kavyas that are there also have one more kind of sorting. One is Drishya Kavyam, Shravya Kavyam. So that which can be played and seen, played by the actors and seen by the audience, that is Drishya Kavyam. Okay. Then Shravya Kavyam, those that are not really amenable for staging unless somebody recomposes them. Of course, that has always happened. Many Shravya Kavyams have been taken, episodes from that have been converted into Drishya Kavyam and played also. Kalidasa's own efforts are there in that he takes episodes from Mahabharata, pushes it into Drishya Kavyam. Okay, so Shravya Kavyam. So that is basically not already thought of as a play. There is no sutradhara, role, conversation pieces. There is no part change, scene change. Any of those arrangements are not there in the kavya. It is series of verses that underline a story and also some bodha in between. That is a Shravya Kavyam. You enjoy that yet because you can have upanyasas around each verse and enjoy them also. So, but they are enjoyed as audio. There isn't too much you can do for Drishya there. But there have been wonderful persons who actually are able to convert even the Shravya Kavyas into Drishya using elocution. Okay, they throw in nice singing in between and then go into Katha Prasanga using the Shravya Kavyam also, of course. So that is basically dynamically they are making it Drishya Kavyam. But as written, it is a Shravya Kavyam. So that which is Kavya, that is to be seen, and Kavya, that is to be heard. Okay, that's the Drishya and Shravya. So Drishya Kavya is one which can be presented on stage and watched, drama, etc. Shravya Kavya is one which is to be heard or read and enjoyed. So the Mahakavyas basically largely belong to that category, because you cannot have a play that goes on and on and on. So typically Drishya Kavyam tends to be of a limited size, because it's not like possible even over a week to demonstrate whole of Mahabharata. So yeah. So what is called drama in English or nataka in other Indian languages is called rupaka in Sanskritam. So the generic term for Drishya Kavya is called a rupaka. Okay, there are 10 varieties of rupakas. Okay, of them Nataka is just one. Okay, the technical term Natakam is deployed for one. Okay, so there is a verse here which recites the names of the 10. Natakam saprakaranam banah prahasanam dimah vyayoga samavakaro vityanke hamrigadasha. Okay, this is Visargalopa, Mrigaha, like that. Okay, so Natakam Samprakaranam Bhanah Prahasanam Dimah Vyayogah Samavakarah Vithi Vitihi Atava Vitihi Ankaha Iha Mrigaha iti dasha. Okay, that's all. So natakam, samprakaranam, bhanah, prahasanam, dhimah, vyayogah, samavakarah, vitihi, ankah, ihamrgah. So some of them are easy to interpret by the name. So for example, prahasanam. So hasana. So to make somebody laugh, right? Prahasanam. So that kind of play that is focused on laughter. So it's very clear. It is a what do you call them in English? Hilarious or some other better word is there. Humorous play, like that. Humor focused play. Okay, you can say that. Then similarly, for example, Vitihi is very clear. It is meant to be a street play, not with lot of stage-like accessories. It is more focused on the actors themselves enacting the life into it. Doesn't even perhaps require dress up and things like that. So street play, Vitihi. Okay. And Ankaha, for example, Anka is typically one scene, right? So potentially Ankaha is about single act plays, like maybe something like that it sounds. So all these kinds of technical variations that we think are something in the Western drama is very much found in Sanskrit drama also. All kinds of colors and variations we know of. They are not alien to our ancients either in their own way. Okay, so Iha Mriga. Actually, Iha Mriga means a dream or is some kind of a fantastic, imaginative thing. So Iha Mriga is something about some kind of exotic, unrealistic, transport to some some ethereal world type of play. Okay, so all these are there. So you can call them as sci-fi in the modern stuff. Maybe I don't know. Okay, so I don't trust me on the exact definitions there, but clearly some of the names are trying to convey something to us. Okay, all right. So there are 10 types of rupakas. The well-known these are 10 types of rupakas. Sorry, we already read those. So now a new segment: well-known rupakas and their authors. So something for us to uh, keep in memory as part of our exam ritual part of this learning. So Abhignana Shakuntalam iti Kalidasasya kritihi. Abhignana Shakuntalam. So this is a play. Okay, so Kalidasah Uttara Ramacharitam. So Uttara Ramacharitam obviously relates to probably Uttara Ramayana, which relates to Lavakusha episodes. So Uttara Ramacharitam, I think like that. Okay, Bhavabhutihi. So the creator of that is Bhavabhutihi. Okay, Swapna Vasava Dattam. Okay, we saw a very, very short English summary of this story, right? It was very interesting. Yaugandharayana, Vasavadatta, all those colorful characters we saw. Okay, so that is Padma. What is her name? Okay, I'm bad in memory. Padmasini or somebody like that. Okay, so Swapna Vasavadattam Bhasaha. Okay, then Veni Samharaha. Okay, Bhattanarayana, sorry, not Hevitha, Bhattanarayana, Bhattanarayana, Veni Samharaha. Veni refers to probably plate, a lady's plate. So I don't know what this is about. It's very interesting. Veni Samharaha, Bhattanarayana. Then Mritchakatikam, Mrit Shakatikam, Mritchakatikam. Chatva has happened. It's one of the Sandhis. Mritu has gone to Mrich, and then due to the Chakara, Shakara has gone to Chakara. Mritchakatikam. So that is mud chariot. So that means a play chariot. Okay, so a play chariot. So that is actually the play starts off with something related to that. So beautifully named in an artistic way by the Kavi Shudrakaha. His name is Shudrakaha. So Mritchakatikam Shudrakaha, Veni Samharaha, Bhattanarayanaha, Swapnavasavadattam Bhasaha, Uttara Ramacharitam Bhavabhutihi, Abhignana Shakuntalam Kalidasaha. So three great kavis are Bana, Bhasa, Kalidasa. Then there are many, many, but these three names are pretty big there. So Kalidasa and Bhasa are figuring in the Nataka Rupaka list. Okay. Okay. So five Rupakas we are by name familiar and also along with their author. Okay. Now Kavyas expanded a bit more here in this segment. in Sanskrit literature, poetic compositions, kavyani. So kavyam, kavyani. So not kavyaha. Remember, kavyam, kavyani, plurality. So napumsaka shabda. Okay, occupy the lofty position which the Shastras occupy. See, very important. So they are considered also equally important. There are many poems in Sanskrit. The Ramayana poem is a very weak word to describe something like Ramayana. But anyway, the Ramayana is the first epic poem. Okay, epic poem qualifies it better. Adi Kavya, Adi Kavya, Adi, the very first like that. Okay, one of the most ancient kavyas. Okay, so we don't generally try to, though there is meter, specific meters, Vedic meters in Vedic verses, we hesitate to try and bring it under human classification called kavya because it is shruti. Okay, so we accept it as what it is and don't try to classify, subclassify, etc. under our nomenclatures. Okay, but you can say they are also having kavyatva in them very much. Hmm? Hmm. The Ramayana is the first epic poem, Adi Kavya. So amongst human kavyas, you can call it Adi Kavya. The way we classify it as Shruti Smriti, like that. Okay. All Mahakavyas are metrical compositions. So all these Mahakavyas have meter in them, have specific scales of which letter should come with what guna in each position, how many in a pada, etc. All are Chatushpadis, by the way. There are some Tripadis also. In Vedic meters, you will see them. For example, Gayatri, I think, is a Tripadi. Don't quote me on that. I need to cross check my knowledge. But it has 24 letters. Some kavyas and their authors are mentioned below. Pancha Mahakavyani Kavihi. Raghuvamsham Kalidasah. Kumara Sambhavam Kalidasah. So two Kalidasa Kritis make it to Pancha Mahakavya, and he also scores in the number one in the list for Rupakas. Okay, so he has both Drishya Kavya and Shravya Kavya in his Kritis. So one of his Drishya Kavyas is over there, Abhignana Shakuntalam, and obviously Raghuvamsham and Kumara Sambhavam have not been listed under Drishya Kavya, perhaps because they are Shravya Kavyas, especially being Mahakavya. They only belong probably in Shravya Kavya. Paha means big also, big and significant. So Raghuvamsham Kalidasaha. So why this is Mahakavya is actually Kalidasa has gone beyond even what Valmiki attempts in describing Raghuvamsha. Raghuvamsha's reference is probably not so elaborate in Valmiki's Kriti only, but Kalidasa has gone beyond that. So through other folklore, other knowledge that has passed on, he has recomposed the tracking of the various kings of Raghuvamsha from the very early phase all the way to its termination phases. Okay, has been traced by Kalidasa in his Mahakriti Raghuvamsham. Okay, and you will see that in the next level or the third level, summary of Raghuvamsham, what Kalidasa has dealt with is start using small segments in the storyline. Katha segment, Lagu Katha segment, they will in five stories they will describe Raghuvamsham in a short way. So it will be very nice also to learn what is the summary of what Kalidasa did. Then Kumara Sambhavam. This is actually Kumara here refers to Kartikeya or the son of Shiva and Parvati. So Sambhavam means the birth of the creation of Kumara. So that's related to that. So all the exotic description of Parvati wedding, Shiva, all the color associated with that is all in this. Probably including Manmatha's Bhasmikarana, all those things must be part of this. Kumara Sambhavam Kalidasa. So in Kalidasa's Lekhani, it would be the best to look at. Kiratarjuniyam, okay, Bharavihi. So this is the largely focusing on the interaction between Kirata and Arjuna. in the Kiratarjuniyam. This is relating to when Arjuna was sent off for some kind of ascetic life for a while to pray to the gods for getting astras. Okay, for gaining astra knowledge from them. So he had been packed off on behalf of the Pandavas. Okay, much when Draupadi is telling Dhritarashtra, not this Dharmaraja, telling Dharmaraja that we can't be sitting ducks like this. We have to become Kshatriyas and take charge of our destiny and fight against the injustice, etc. And that is the context under which when Dharmaraja invites, I think Vyasa or Vasish, one of the rishis. I'm thinking it is Vyasa. So he advises, no, Arjuna should go and pursue some ascetic life to get astras from the devas. So that is in that context this story. Bharavihi Kiratarjuniyam. Then Shishupala Vadham Magha. So clearly about Krishna's episode. Shishupala Vadham Magha. Then Naishadhiya Charitam. So this one is a little more human linked. So earlier ones are all linked to the ancient Kritis, right? See, Raghavamsham is based on Ramayanam, Kumara Sambhavam based on Shiva Purana, and Kiratarjuniyam is also based on Mahabharatam, Shishupalavadam based probably on Mahabharatam and Bhagavatam combination. So this one is much more down to earth in that sense. This is oh no, let me be careful. Sri Harshaha Naishadhiya Charitam. So Charitam is there, so we will check. So whether it's about certain kings, a good set of kings that lived, perhaps. I don't know. So let me not conclude anything. Anyway, it's also a Mahakavya because it traces many kingdoms. So Naishadhiya Charitam, Sri Harsha. So let us read it again. Raghuvamsham Kalidasah, Kumara Sambhavam Kalidasah, Kiratarjuniyam Bharavihi, Shishupala Magha, Naishadhiya Charitam Sri Harsha. So much celebrated kavyas. There are a lot more Mahakavyas. Uh, if you notice, Ramayana and Mahabharata themselves don't get listed because they are given a very high position anyway. So they are a little bit above this Mahakavya classification. Though they are Mahakavyas, they are literally the source of many of these. So to try and pull it down alongside Kalidasa and Bharavi's creation, they desisted from that, you can say. Yes, yes. Is there a question, Vasuki
No,
Varya?
no, it is Naishadhiya Charitam is on Nala Damanti.
Naladamayanti. So then it's
Yeah,
also based on Mahabharatam only.
yeah.
Thanks, Bhagini. Thanks. Can you give a short summary? What is it about?
The story of Nala and Damayanti, sir?
Yeah, give us gives the some summary of that for us. Yes.
Now, I've heard the story. It's about, to be honest, I'm not a very good narrator.
Try your best. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
About the king Nala and no, sir. I'll
Well,
take it
basically, it's
seriously.
a romance.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I don't really recall because I remember the story told by my grandmother. Therefore, I remember
she
this.
did. You cannot forget that. Please.
Another time, sir.
When will you pass it on to your grandchildren then,
I'll do
Bhagini?
that. No, in
Please,
this
please.
course only I'll do it.
Make sure that you pass on because
Yeah, yeah.
that is very critical. That paddhati is so much getting lost. Okay, all right. So, thanks, Bhagini.
In between, just a minute, please. If you can just this one, Rupaka is Rupakam or Rupakam only? Drama, when you say Nataka, is it Rupakam or Rupakam?
Rupakam, Rupakam.
Rupakam, na?
Rupakam.
Okay,
Yes.
but in between, regarding this Nala Damayanti, Nala was a good cook and also great charioteer. He is the fastest who can ride a chariot. So we have this Nalapak in Karnataka. You must have come across Nalapak. So he was a good cook, and that's how they get reunited in the end.
Okay, okay. So interesting. Okay,
They were
Mahodaya
separated.
has given
They
some
were
more tip.
separated. Yes, yes.
No, please tell, sir. I interrupted you.
No, no. because I just wanted to just convey this Rupakam. And Nala Damayanti, for some reason, they get separated, and she was truly in love with Nala. Okay, Nala was a good king, and for some reason they get separated, and he leaves her in between in the forest with one cloth to cover her body. That's all. Simple. And he walks off naked. So she goes back to her kingdom because of her father, and later on she looks for him. He was in search of him for his if she was not knowing his whereabouts, and she sends word that she wants to have something like that, and she brings him because of his great nature by riding. He was a good charioteer. He can ride the horses very fastest in the world or in the universe itself. He was the best who can drive the horses. So overnight he reaches that position, that place, and he also engaged, does the cooking. His cooking was well known, so tasty, nobody else can match his cooking. He was the best. So based on his cooking, she recognizes him, stating that he is none other than Nala. Nobody else can match his taste. So they get reunited at the end. That is the beauty of the story.
Very nice.
So Nala Pak, we must have heard in Mysore and many places we have Nala Pak, means he is the best cook. That's all, Nala Pak.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Thank you. Excellent. Excellent summary for us. Thank you very much. Okay. So nice. So Prasiddhani Gadya Kavyani. So these are Gadya Kavyas. Means there is no metric related composition, but other qualities of Kavya is there in them. Not just simple random text thrown in together. Kadambari Banaha. Okay, this is a very tough Kavya. Some of his Samastapadas, Bana's Samastapadas run into paragraphs. It will take too much expertise to break the samastas sometimes. Sometimes you have to just fall in, not try to understand them as samastas, take the pratipadikas and construct the meaning along without trying to think of it as Shashti Tat Purusha, this thing, that thing, like that, because you will have no time for doing that with his kavya. So little bit tough actually. Kadambari, Banaha, Vasavadatta, Subandhuhu, Vasavadatta. So probably related to the same character maybe. And then Dashakumara Charitam, Dandi. So the storyline of 10 Kumaras. So interesting what it is about. So Dandi. Okay. So Kadambari of Bana, Vasavadatta of Subandhu, and Dashakumara Charitam of Dandi. These come under Gadya Kavya. So we saw a few examples of Gadya Kavya also. Then Champu also, some examples have been given. Prasiddhani Champu Kavyani. So Champu Ramayanam, very famous. Actually, very good work. So some good YouTube recordings of somebody as great as I think Dr. Vishwas Mahodaya is available to walk us through some of these things as far as I recall. Okay, Champu Ramayanam, Bhoja Devaha, Champu Ramayanam. So he redescribes Ramayana in a beautiful summarization. Okay. Actually, Saumya Krishnapura also has a beautiful recording series on this. As part of the Vyoma Sanskrit-from-home.in, there is a course on Champu Ramayanam. If you go there, tons of, I think as early as 2017, she has taught this. I think the first part or something probably is dealt with by her in beautiful manner. So that's also available to us. So Champu Bharatam. So Ramayana and also Mahabharata has been attempted in a short Champu version by Ananta Bhattaha. Okay. So Champu Ramayanam, Champu Bharatam. Easy to remember the names, but the authors also you have to remember. Bhoja Devaha, Ananta Bhattaha. Then Vishwagunadarsha Champu. So Vishwagunadarsha Champu, Venkatadvarihi. I don't know much about this. Neelakantha Vijayas Champuhu. Okay. See, when Champu itself is used, looks like Champuhu is the way it is written. Must be a Napumsaka Ukaranta Shabda or something it sounds like. I'm not too sure. Anyway, Venkatadhvarihi Vishwagunadarsha Champu Neelakantha Vijaya Champu is from Neelakantha Dikshita. Easy to remember the pair. So Neelakantha Vijaya Champu, Neelakantha Dikshita. Okay. So it's something about victory of some certain king, that this either the king's name itself is there or his court pandit's name is Dikshita. So Yashasti Kala Champu, Yashasti Kala Champu, Somadevaha. So few, at least remember three, four of them if you can. So this is the important. But Panchamahakavyani, very popular question in exams. So better to remember all 5 here. And also this this set. Few things we have to memorize. So we have Drishya Kavyas, and then the other type of the Mahakavya, Gadya Kavya, Champu Kavya. So typically Drishya Kavya is its own. These are all coming under Shravya Kavya, generally considered under Kavya. I don't think any of these are placed as far as I can see. Okay. All right, so I pulled in some nice pictures of some Sanskrit play being played. Very artistic arrangement on the stage there, and somebody's nice composition of various Indian art forms. Okay, so let's move on. So Katha, today's Katha is Nyaya Shraddha. Nyaya Shraddha. So let's see who wants to read it today. Let me learn who I decide will try to read it today. I'm sure many of you want to. So let us invite Devika MN. Devika MN. We have 20 students today. Record for me for a while. Devika MN, can you help us read the story, Bhagini? Not unmuting. Milindvarya.
Yes, sir.
You do the first large paragraphs. Start from Katha and go slowly. You know our method. Yeah.
Katha Nyaya Shraddha.
So Nyaya Shraddha here is the focused faith in Nyaya. That means our unshakable faith or belief or trust. I don't know how to translate Shraddha in the law. That kind of thing you can say. Okay. So that's okay. There they have beautifully translated for us. Faith in righteousness. So they did use the word faith for Shraddha. It's a poor substitute. Then righteousness for Nyaya. Okay, good. Continue, sir.
Purvam Sagarah Nama Nrupah Asit.
Purvam, in the earlier days, Puratana Kale, Purvam. Okay, Sagaraha Nama, by the name Sagara. See, this Nama is used to indicate by that name, in that sense. Sagaraha Nama. Nama is a Naman Nakaranta Shabda. So that's why the Prathama Ekavachana is Nama. Okay. Nrupaha Asit. So king was there by the name Sagara. Sorry, not Sagara. Sagara by the name Sagara. Continue.
Tasya Patni Dvayam Asit.
Because of Dvayam, Ekavachana Asit has been used. Okay. Dvayam makes it Ekavachana. The pair of wives become one entity, and so Asit. So of Sagara, Tasya, Sagarasya, Nrupasya, Sagarasya, Patni Dvayam Asit. Athava Patnyau Astam. Like that can also be written. Okay. So that's another Dvivachana way of saying. Continue, sir.
Kintu Ekah Api Putrah Na Asit.
Sadly, but he didn't have a single son. Okay, but you will not regret this for much long. You will see the number of children he will have soon. Continue, sir.
Atah Sagarah Dukhitah Abhavat.
Therefore, this Sagara became a sorrow-filled person. Dukkitaha is a Visheshana to Sagaraha. It's a Ktanta, we call it. It's a Kridanta. So he became a sad fellow.
Anantaram Saha Ekam मुनिवरं सेवितवान्.
Afterwards, remember, Nantaram is not there in Sanskritam, always Anantaram, without gap. That means pretty much soon after he was Dukkita. I request others to unmute, okay, so that echo is coming. Okay, I think nobody else is unmuted. That's okay. Let some Anantaram afterwards. Saha Sagaraha Ekam Munivaram. One Rishi, he or superior Muni, he as a target. That's why karma Ekam Munivaram Sevitavan. He did seva of a Munivara.
मुनिवरः सन्तुष्टः अभवत्.
That the high seated Muni, the ascetic, became happy fella.
मुनिवरः सन्तुष्टः अभवत्.
Next.
सः वरम् अयच्छत्.
He gave a boon. Ayachat is, he gave a boon, right? Lung, all of these are lung, guys. Notice in the stories, they teach something and then they follow diligently. This katha will be in lung. Asit, 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 abhavat. Okay, but kridanta also thrown in. Past kridanta, sevitavan. Again back to avat, ayachat. Again in lung. Okay. Some of them will be Atmanepadi, some of them will be Parasmaipadi. These are all Parasmaipadi lang. Ayachat, Abhavat, Asit, like that. So he gave a boon. Continues.
सगरस्य ज्येष्ठपत्नी एकं पुत्रम् अलभत्.
Alabhata. So labhate, Atmanepadi, no? In lang Bhutakala, it will become Alabhata. So
Yes,
Avandata, Avandhetam, Avandanta, like that we had studied, na? So the same thing, Alabhata, Alabhetam, Alabhanta. That is the lang Prathama Purusha variants. Okay, so Sagarasya Jeshta Patni. So he had Patni Dvayam. Of them, the Jeshta. Okay, so Jeshta Patni. Okay. Sagarasya Jeshta Patni Ekam Putram Alabata. She begot a son. Okay, that's the summary.
तस्य नाम असमञ्जः.
Asamanjaha. So his name is Asamanjaha. So his name is called Asamanja.
कनिष्ठपत्नी षष्टिसहस्रं पुत्रान् अलभत.
We know our great grandmothers were capable of a dozen. I don't know when in those cases they were capable of more. Looks like Shashti Sahasram Putran Alabhata. Okay, so his younger wife was quite powerful lady. So she begot 60,000 sons. Remember, guys, some of these are a little bit katha. Okay, all right. Don't try to try to prove something here. Some of us are out to do, saying this is the thing of ancient India, like that. These are all good kavi. We call it kavi samaya. There is a phrase I learned yesterday in my daily Sanskrit class. It's called kavi samaya. The kavis are given a lot of freedom, and we cannot conclude from that every history. Okay, continue.
कालः अतीतः.
Time moved on. Okay, time passed, like that. Okay. Sorry, I think
सर्वे पुत्राः अवर्धन्त.
all these sons. So 60,001. One was the problem actually. Sarve putraha avardhanta. All these sons grew up.
राजकुमारः असमञ्जः बहु दुष्टः आसीत्.
By the way, just going back to avardhanta, vardate, atmanepadi lat becomes avardata in lang ekavachana. Avardata, avardetam, avardanta. Okay, so that is that avardanta. So lang prathama purusha bahuvachana. Okay. Rajakumaraha Asamanjaha Bahudushtah Asit. So this Asamanja, that elder son from the elder queen, he was quite a wicked fella. Bahudushtah Asit. Continue, sir.
सः विनोदार्थं नगरस्य अन्यान् बालान् जले क्षिपति स्म.
Now sma prayoga is shown. Just for a variation they throw it. But this sma is actually needed. I will show you why it is not a simple bhutakala application. It is actually significant sma. This is where we learn the correct usage of sma. Okay. Saha, that is asamanjasaha. Asamanjaha, not asamanjasaha. Asamanjaha. Vinodartham, for fun. For the purpose of vinoda, for fun. Okay. Nagarasya anyan balan, the other boys of the town, jale kshipati sma. He used to drop them in the water. That
Samyatam
means,
Mahodaya.
yes, Bhagini. What is it, Rama Bhagini? I don't know. I heard a Kshamyatam Mahodaya. Then it became muted. Okay, doesn't matter. So he used to. So that used to sense is very clear here. Kshipati sma, for play, for his own wicked happiness, he used to drop the town boys in water, push them into water like that. Some kind of psychotic mentality, which we see even today, I guess. Continue, sir.
So this is Priya or Mriya? Mriya.
Mriya, correct.
Mriya. Mriyamanan tan društva anandena hasati sma cha.
So not only he used to push them into water, Mriyamanam Manan, if those of who don't know swimming, what fate awaits them, right? So Mriyamanan, those who are struggling to live, those who are dying, that sense. Mana is continuous tense, okay? So Mriyamanan Tan, okay? Those who are struggling to live or dying, them, Drishtva, having seen, or by looking at them, as he looks at them, Anandena, with happiness, this Asamanja, Hasatisma cha, he used to laugh also.
एवं असमंजः अनेकान् बालान् अमारयत्.
So sadly, like this wicked prince, Asamanja, he killed many boys. Thank you, Arya. Well read.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Vasuki, you still have your hand up, Bhagini? You want to participate, or you just forgot to down it? Oh, went down. Okay. Why? Meena Muthaya Varye, you help us now. Meena ji. The balance of the story you read for us, Bhagini.
Tataha janaha dukhitaha abhavan.
Tataha is like afterwards, that sense. Okay. Tadanantaram or nantaram. So tataha is a simple tasil pratyaya. From that, from then. This taha is like Rama taha, from Rama, Bengaluru taha, from Bengaluru, Mysuru taha, Griha taha. So instead of Grihat, Nagarat, like that at prayoga, the Panchami prayoga we use for source. Okay. You can use this tasil pratyaya, which shortens to this taha version as the tail. Okay, Rama taha, Sita taha. Why this tasil is cheap? You don't have to worry whether the declensions vary. So Ramat. So then you have to think, is it Ramat or Ramaya or what it is? Whereas Ramataha, very simple. Sita taha, very simple. There is no linga beda also. So this tasil is used a lot. But one popular version of that is this tataha. Okay, from then, like that. Okay, all right. Some gyan about that. Janaha dukkitaha abhavan. The people became sad fellows, the dukkha filled fellows, sadness filled fellows.
Te nirupasya samipam agachan.
Agachan. So ang upasarga is there if you notice. Okay, ang plus agachan. Okay, so agachan. So you see upasarga is there with the gam dhatu. So it is in plural also here. Okay, in lang plural. So they, That means these Dukkita Janaha, Nrupasya Samipam, went to our Sagara, okay, near him. Okay, so Samipya is belonging to the Nrupa. So Nrupasya Samipam, that's a Nrupana Rajana Hattira. Raja ke Samip gaye. So Raja ke, that's why Shashti. So Samipya to Raja ka hota hai. So Nrupasya Samipam agachan, they came. So that means we are in the context of Nrupa, so they all came there. Continue.
Asamanjasya Duracharam Avadan.
Duracharam, avadan.
Duracharam Avadan.
Avadan. So they conveyed, avadan, told or conveyed is the better sense, again in the long past. Okay, avadan duracharam. Kasya duracharam, asamanjasya duracharam. So what is durachara? Achara is behavior, durachara is bad behavior, and that is a karma pada, so duracharam, avadan, like that. Okay, continue.
Tada Nirpaha Sachivan Ahvayat.
Our king at that time, okay, tada is in the sense of at that time. Okay, at that time, the king with sachivas are the karma padas, plural, that is dvitiya bahuvachana. Sachivan, his ministers, ahvayat, he invited them. Okay.
Putrasya Vishayam Avadat.
He told them about his son, Putrasya Vishayam. Again, Vishayam is belonging to the Putra. The news is about the Putra. So, Putrasya Vishayam. So, the news of the son, he told them.
Idanim Kim Karomi Iti Tan Aprichat.
Aprichat. Idanim Kim Karomi. Bhagini did the kaka also nicely. So, now what will I do? Iti Tan Aprichat. So, he asked them so.
Sachivaha Avadan Praja Pitakaha Asamanjaha Bhavata Rajyataha Nishkasitaha Bhavatu.
Iti. Okay,
Iti.
very good. So Sachivaha Avadan blah 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 iti. Okay, that's how it goes. So the ministers, Sachivaha, the ministers, Mantrinaha, Sachivaha, Avadan, they told. Of course, Nrupam Avadan. Nrupa is the karma pada of the Vadu Dhatu there. So Nrupam Avadan. Kim Avadan? Kim iti Avadan? Evam. Prajapidakaha Asamanjaha. The Asamanja, who is a troubler of the people. Prajapidaka is the title given to Asamanja. Prajapidaka Asamanja Bhavata, by you. Bhavata, by you, singular. Okay. So Rajyataha, from the kingdom, Nishkasitaha Bhavatu. May he become the fellow who has been banished from the kingdom by you. So that means you banished him in active voice, but it is in a reverse way. So Rajyataha saha nishkashitaha bhavatu. May he get banished from the kingdom by you, bhavata. Bhavatu, lot.
Okay. Nirpaha Sachivan Vanam Nirnayam Angikೃತವಾನ್.
Nripaha Sachivanam Nirnayam Angikೃತವಾನ್. So this king, the conclusion or the directive or the determination, you can call Nirnaya as that. Okay, the conclusion of the Sachivas, Sachivanam Nirnayam is the karma. So Nripa is the karta, and what is the karya? Angikara, acceptance. Okay, Angikara is the kriya. Angikೃತವಾನ್, so that he accepted. He became the fellow who accepted is the literal translation of that. Okay, continue.
Putram api asamanjam saha nishkasitavan.
So Putram api asamanjam. Saha nishkasitavan. Why putram api has been added by the storyteller? Despite Asamanja being his own son, that sense they want to bring. None of us are in any confusion that he is the putra or not the putra of Sagara. But that why they get thrown into the sentence, you have to bring that despite sense in our translation. Putram api, putram satyapi, despite being the son. Okay. Asamanjam saha, this karma pada asamanjam saha, that is nripaha sagaraha, nishkasitavan, he removed him, he banished him. So in nishkasitaha was a kta krudanta. So it was a visheshana to asamanjaha nishkasitaha bhavatu. So visheshana kta visheshana to asamanjaha. Okay, there is ktavatu nishkasitavan ktavatu, which we have learned it also with many examples. We haven't learned kta. You will probably get it in the following lessons. I am just pointing out. Okay. One more sentence here.
Aho nyaye nripasya shraddha.
So this one is Kavi Udgara. Okay, not part of the storyline. Aho, oh, like that. Wow, like that. Okay. Nyaye nripasya shraddha. Ka shraddha? Kidrishi shraddha, like that. Okay, what type of faith in the matters of righteousness and law of the king, like that. Hardly happens nowadays, right? So we can understand this Kavi Udgara. Okay, one more sentence, Bhagini.
Ataha sajanaha vadanti tyajet ekam kulasyartham iti.
Kulasyarthe iti.
Kulasyarthe iti. Sorry.
Okay. So, ataha sajjanaha vadanti, therefore the knowledgeable people, they tell, tyajet ekam, reject one, kulasya arthe, for the purpose of a community, like that. So this asamanja had to be rejected for the sake of the kingdom. In this case, the kula was the entire kingdom here. Okay, so nice story. In fact, it this tyajed ekam kulasyarte tyajed kulam gramasyarte, something like that. One verse is also there. Did we already encounter it in these lessons, or I have taught it in other classes earlier? I don't know. Anyway, it's a verse that is there in this book pretty much, I think.
I think it's the end of this lesson, sir.
End of this lesson, sir. So it's coming up. Okay. What happens? I have taught already 4 or 5 batches. I'm not able to recall in which batch what I have taught. Okay. All right. I'm apologizing for that. So this is summarized there in English for you, but I think that's why I try to not just give you the translation. That is not the point so much as giving you some grammar points here and there that help us to increase our learning. Thanks, Bhagini. Well read.
Dhanyavadas.
Dhanyavada. So now time for us to do some simple question answer for this simple story. So crowdsource the answers. Okay. So the questions are thus as listed in blue here. Nripasya nama kim?
Nripasya nama Sagara.
Sagara. Nyaya shraddha iti kathayam nripasya nama sagaraha iti asti. Sagaraha. Nripasya nama sagaraha. Okay, everything I told extra just to give you the context. Okay. These kind of questions won't come in the exam because suddenly they can't put in the final paper Nripasya nama kim. There are so many kings we have encountered in the book. So if at all, if somebody decides to compose a question like this, the least they have to do is Nyaya Shraddha iti kathayam Nripasya nama kim. Potentially that will trigger you to think of Sagara. Okay, so that is the only way they can compose it. Here, because it is right under the context of the katha, this question is relevant. Okay, Rajakumaraha kidrishaha asit.
राजकुमारः बहु दुष्टः आसीत्.
अत्र तु ज्येष्ठ राजकुमारः इति भवितव्यम्. अस्तु नाम राजकुमारः दुष्टः बहु दुष्टः आसीत्. करेक्ट. अतीव दुष्टः बहु दुष्टः आसीत्. बहु दुष्टः सी I have written Bahudushtah. In fact, you can throw in Asamanjaha also, just to bring his name. So Rajakumaraha Asamanjaha Bahudushtah Asit. Janaha Kimartam Dukkitaha Abhavan. Tough one, huh? There you will see Etena Janaha Dukkitaha Abhavan or something like that, right? So Tataha Janaha Dukkita. You cannot write that as the answer. So you have to write 2-3 sentences at least for this one, little bit. So I will invite one of you. One of you can try out. Yeah, please tell.
असमञ्जः विनोदार्थं नगरस्य अन्यान् बालान् जले क्षिपति स्म। एवम् असमञ्जः अनेकान् बालान् अमारयत्।
Very good.
ततः जनाः दुःखिताः अभवन्।
Correct. Good. So you don't have to go to every detail, like especially this painful sentence, Mriyamanantan Drishtva.
I
We
don't
don't
want to
like.
repeat that.
That makes us, this is our weakness also. We are too kind sometimes. This is the
Very sad.
reality. Anyway, saha vinodartham nagarasya anyan balan jale kshipati sma ataha janaha dukkitaha bhavan. You can skip to that also. You can even skip the Amarayat version also. If you wish. Just minimum 2 are required. 3 will be nice, like Bhagini told. Well done. Okay, Mara, but I made a little bit composition there. Okay, so this is not required from you, this kind of effort, but basically Marakasya Asamanjasya Durvartanena Janaha Dukkitaha Bhavan. The killer of Asamanja, okay, his Durvartana, his bad behavior, okay, his bad existence. By that, Janaha Dukkitaha Bhavan, like that I have stacked up the quality of Asamanja in that, but this requires a little more swimming in the world of Sanskritam to compose like this. But you will learn this, believe me, after a while. I am a standing example. 7-8 years ago, I was a struggler, strangler in the world of Sanskritam. So now I feel comfortable throwing a few sentences like this, and you will also become that. It will be nice when you reach that level. Okay. Kaha nirnayam ayachat. Who gave the nirnaya?
सचिवान्।
Sachivaha. Sachivaha nirnayam ayachan. You have to pluralize it. Okay. Or Sachiva Mandalam nirnayam ayachat. Okay. You can unify it using Sachiva Mandalam. Okay. Or you have to go plural. Sachivaha nirnayam ayachan. That's also okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one ayachat. Ayachat, apruchat, ayachat. Actually, the other answer is also fine. Sachivaha nirnayam ayachan. Antato nirnayam svikritavaन् yeshah. Natu ayachat ityanena adadat iti arthah bhavati. Okay. Who gave the nirnaya? So this is not a proper answer, little bit. Okay, proper answer would be Sachiva Mandalam Nirnayam Ayachat Athava Sachivaha Nirnayam Ayachan is a better answer. Okay, rather than this further conclusion I have taken. Sachivanam Nirnayam Eva Nripaha Ayachat. So because Kim Nirnayam, if it was that Kaha Nirnayam Ayachat, Nripaha Nirnayam. No, Nripaha did not give the Nirnaya. The Sachivas did. But it is in singular. So the question is a little tough for us because of that confusion. Why Kaha? It should have been K. Then it would have been easy to answer. K Nirnayam Ayachan. Because in the story, no singular comes there. Okay. So this kind of thing stumps us. So I did some via media solution, which is not good, just for the sake of keeping the Ekavachanatva. One better way to keep Ekavachanatva is Sachiva Mandalam Nirnayam Ayachat. But Sachiva Mandalam is Napumsaka, not Kaha, answer to Kaha. It's okay. Sajjanaha Kim Vadanti.
Correct, Mahodaya. Sachivaha, kaha, since it is asked kaha, Sachivaha nirnayam ayachat. Is it correct?
Technically incorrect, no? Because Sachivaha Nirnayam Ayachan is the story.
Oh,
Not
okay.
one of them, all of them, right? Whoever he invited. Okay, anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, धन्यवाद.
it won't be, it'll be okay to answer like that, nothing wrong. Yes,
So the
Mahodaya.
answer given in the book is Nrupaha Nirnayam Ayachat.
It is no so untrue.
That
Nrupaha
is how-
Angikೃತವಾನ್ Ayachat is not necessarily to mean he carried it out. It actually means he gave, right? He gave the nirnaya. He did not give the nirnaya. He accepted the nirnaya and carried it out.
Sir, but he says that Saha Nishkashitavan. So he.
Nrupaha Nishkashitavan. Correct.
So he gave the final decision. This he gave the order.
Yeah, but Angikara. See, instead of Ayachat, it should have been Kaha Nirnayam Angikೃತವಾನ್, then Nrupaha Nirnayam Angikೃತವಾನ್, or Nrupaha Sagaraha Nirnayam Angikೃತವಾನ್, we can answer. So this is like, we say in Kannada, Addagode mele deepa ittange anta. The question is not clear. It is putting a light on the wall. You don't know whether it is falling out or falling in. Like that. Anyway, Sajjanaha Kim Vadanti.
सज्जनाः वदन्ति त्यजेदेकं
सज्जनाः त्यजेदेकं
कुलस्यार्थे
कुलस्यार्थे इति वदन्ति. करेक्ट. सज्जनाः त्यजेदेकं कुलस्यार्थे इति वदन्ति. That's enough. Okay. Well done. Okay. With that, we have concluded the story. So now is the next segment. Let us take a short break and restart at 12:05. It is 12:02 now. Take your 3 minutes water break. Go refresh yourself and be back. Then we'll start off with Samskrita Vyavahara section. Okay.
Mahoday,
Sorry, I hit mute all because there was a lot of noise coming. Somebody had a question before we restart.
I was thanking you for reminding me of this Nala Damayanti story, Nala Damayanti story, because there are so many beautiful stories in Mahabharatam. And there are two beautiful pictures of Raja Ravi Varma in our palace at Mysore also, Nala Damayanti with the swan.
Yeah, Nala Damayanti is a very famous photo
Viraha.
there, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Viraha, Viraha, she was a
Correct.
swan along with the swan and beautiful
Correct.
it is. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
You transported me to that.
Nice. Okay, sir. So now I'm going to invite one student to become the teacher and one to become a student. Okay. So let us see. Shrimoyi is back, so let us get her involved. And Shrimoyi, you will be the teacher. Okay.
Shrimanti, sir.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, Srimantini.
Shrimo is my daughter's name.
Daughter. Anyway, you are also her. Okay. So Srimantini, and then
Yeah.
let us invite Balwant Surtivarya to unmute. He will be the student. Balwant Surtivarya, can you participate?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, Srimanti Variye, you have to slowly read the Shikshaka's question, and Balwant Variya will read the answer, and you two guys enact this slowly. Okay. You don't have to say Shikshakaha Chatraha. Whenever we hear Srimantini's voice, we know it is Shikshaka. Whenever we hear Balwant, we know it is Shishya. You guys do this play acting now for us.
Okay. Yeah, so I start. Read the following conversation. Granthalaye ke santi?
ग्रन्थालये ग्रन्थपालकः अस्ति, बालकाः, महिलाः, वृद्धाः च सन्ति।
भारतदेशो महापुरुषाः के आसन्?
भारतदेशे रामकृष्ण परमहंसः आसीत्, समर्थ रामदासः आसीत्, अहल्याबाई आसीत्, पाण्डवा आसन्, ऋषयः च आसन्।
गते भानुवासरे भवन्तः कुत्र आसन्? कः कार्यक्रमः आसीत्?
गते भानुवासरे वयं रवीन्द्रकलाक्षेत्रे आसम्, वार्षिकोत्सवः आसीत्।
भवान् इन्द्राणीं कुत्र अस्ति? सर्वे छात्राः कुत्र सन्ति?
इदानीम् अहं शालायाम् अस्मि, वयं सर्वे शालायां स्मः।
Very nice. Thanks. Thank you, Srimantini, and thank you, Balwant Varya. So you guys did a good rendering. So this kind of practice is nice. Eventually, as we strengthen our knowledge, we will be speaking with the bhava that is required for each. But I think you guys did a fantastic job there. Okay, thank you. So now, what is the purpose of this is just to show a simple conversation mode between two people they have. And also, like I have underlined, I have tried to show how they have used the Vartamana and Bhuta appropriately. Okay. So what should be in Vartamana and what should be in Bhutakala version is been shown very well here in this example. Okay. And so that's another important reason why blue and red underlinings I have done. Okay. So this kind of simple asdhatus usage, the asdhatus usage is predominant in this one. So asti staha santi. Okay. Asti and santi are seen. Then asan. Okay. Plurality of asit, asan. Okay. So bhutakala version. Okay. See asit, asan. So that's what. And then Uttama Purusha also. Asma, Asmi. Okay. See, Asmi, I am. Asma, we were. Okay. And then Smaha. Okay, we are. Okay, asmi smaha. This is the Vartamana Bahuvachana. Asma is Bhuta Bahuvachana. Asam is, there is no opportunity for asam, so that's not there. But asam is the ekavachana form of asma. So this as dhatu's color is very nicely coming out in this play. Okay, as is the to be. Okay, the to be dhatu. Okay, so that is tha, thi, the variations in Hindi na. मैं था, आप थे, वो सब. Or है in Vartamana, आप है, मैं हूँ, those things. Okay, so the same dhatu basically. So Shikshaka starts off the conversation. Granthalaye ke santi. Look at this duplication. Beautiful color in our language. Okay. So this is there in all Indian languages. Okay. We rather don't say who all. We say who. That is more color for us. Okay. Who is same as who all for us. Okay. So please elaborate for me is there. Don't just give me some generic Balaha Santi or something like that. Please give me a larger description that is being elicited with KK. Okay, distinguish them like that. Okay, so Grantalaye KK Santi, yar iddare, kaun hai, like that. Okay, so Vartamana. So Granthalaya, you guys know, library. Saptami Grantalaye. Okay, kaha kauke. So karta in Bahuvachana. In Prashnarthaka karta. Santi is the Kriyavachaka of the Vartma or the staying, the existence of those guys in questioning way. So Santi Bahuvachana lat asdhat. Okay. Grantalaye Grantapalakaha asti. So Ekavachana answer. In the Grantalaya, there is a librarian, Grantapalakaha. He's a masculine. In my picture, it's a female, but okay. Grantapalakaha asti. I couldn't source a proper picture. Okay. Balakaha, Mahilaha, Vruddhaha, Chasanti. So this is not your typical school Grantalaya. This seems to be like a multiple discipline Grantalaya. So boys, women, elderly people, they are all there in the Granthalaya. Okay. So Balakaha can mean both Balaka, Balikaha. Mahilaha generally would mean a set of ladies. Vruddhaha again can be Vruddhaha, Vruddha, Dvayoho, Samaharha, Vruddhaha iti Bahuvachane Syat Tatra. So both masculine and feminine can be included under that. Okay. So they are all there. So it's like a mixture of people of all ages. Okay. That's what. So Asti and Santi both came out. And see the cha prayoga there. So for the list, Balakaha, Mahilaha, Vruddhaha, cha, Santi. We use one cha in the end. Kavi has the freedom to throw in a few more chas for his kavya, but one cha in normal sentence, we use one cha in the end of the list. We don't put it in the beginning or the middle or something generally. If it is only one, we put it in the end. Okay. Next, the teacher switches context. Bharata Deshe Mahapurushaha KK Asan, who all great people, great men were there in India. Great people, you can take that sense. Okay. So in India, so Bharata Deshe, Saptami again, like Grantalaye, Bharata Deshe, again KK, elaborate like that. So the Chhatra answers, the student answers, Bharata Deshe Ramakrishna Paramahamsaha Asit. So he pulls one reference to a sagely person from recent times. Samartha Ramadasaha Asit. So this Samartha Ramadasa, this person, right? Guru Govind, I was associated with Guru Govind there. So Samartha Ramadasaha Guru Govindaha cha. So Samartha Ramadasaha Asit. Ahalya Bai Holkari. So you know she's a great character. She's the one whom we should thank for regaining some of the glory of Kashi Vishwanath temple. Actually, it was thoroughly destroyed, and she built back one portion. Okay, Ahalya Bai Asit, she was there. So she is from that Holkar rulers, Holkars. Pandavaha Asan. So So going back to ancient times, suddenly student moves time like anything now. Pandavaha asan, Rishayah cha asan. So then he concludes with also Rishis, many Rishis were there. Okay, their existence is undisputable because of all the kritis that are there with us. Books can't lie. The existence of books can't lie. Okay, so great. Then Gate Bhanuvasare. Here, see this Gate Prayoga. So Bhanuvasare is the Sunday on a particular Sunday. Okay, but which one? Gate Bhanuvasare, past Sunday. So that is also in Saptami to go as a Visheshana. So or you can attach it to Bhanuvasara as Gata Bhanuvasare as a Samasta. So Gate Bhanuvasare. Bhavantah kutra asan, you all where you were. So the teacher is asking generally the class, but referring to one student to answer, of course. Okay, Bhavantaha refers to you and others. Okay, you all. Kutra asan, where you all were, past tense again. Okay, kaha karyakramaha asit, what function was there? Almost hinting at you must have all gone to some function together. Where what it was like that. Okay, little bit hinting. All right. So Chhatra answers Gate Bhanuvasare. He continues in the same mold. Vayam Ravindra Kalakshetre Asma. We were. Okay. We all were in Ravindra Kalakshetra. For those of you not from Bangalore, this is a famous place in Bangalore, center area, where the Natakas and all those things and music and dances and all are held. It's a government-run organization called Ravindra Kalakshetra by the Department of whatever, art and other things. Okay. Varshikotsavaha asit. So the annual function. Okay. Utsava generally refers to some kind of how do you say in English? Annual function. Okay, I want to call it more than a function. Okay, Varshikotsavaha asit. So there was an annual celebratory event. Celebratory event is Utsava. Nice. So Bhavan idanim kutra asti. So comes to present tense now. Okay, the Guru. So you, where are you now? Sarve chatraha kutra santi. Suddenly the teacher is okay. I'm asking all everything. Where are my students? Why only this single student is there in front of me? Huh? Where are you now? He's questioning the student. Okay, let us say it is for our sake. He's questioning like that. Sarve chatraha kutra santi. Where are all the students? Where have they disappeared? In that sense. So idanim aham shalayam asmi. Maybe they are talking over the telephone. Who knows? This is a modern era conversation. Now, idanim, now. Aham, I, shalayam asmi. I am in the school. So saptami, shalayam, strilinga. Okay. Vayam sarve shalayam smaha. We all of us. That means all the chatras. Vayam sarve shalayam smaha. We are in the shala. Okay. Asmi smaha. So this smaha, don't confuse it with the visarga non-existing sma. That one is a avyaya pada that is used for the past sense of that used to sense. Okay, that sma is something unrelated to smaha. We are. Okay, we were. We are. Sorry, vartamana. We are. Okay, so this one is actual kriya pada. As dhatus uttama purusha bahuvachana. Asti staha santi asi staha stha asmi swaha smaha. Okay, that is the 9 conjugations of asdhatu in lat lakara. All right, so we have Ahilya Devi Holkar. I made it Holkari in Samskrita because the Vamsha is Holkar Vamsha, so we should go like that in Samskrita. For example, I would have to call myself Valmikiyaha of the Valmiki clan, like that. Okay, Valmikiyaha. So Pancha Pandavaha Draupadi Cha. Beautiful rendition by some artist. I like the practical nature of it. So Bhima clearly here. Arjuna there and Nakula Sadeva have become like Palakas on either side. Draupadi, the queen. Okay, nice. It's in some particular style of Indian art, I'm sure, which is nice. Now, the next portion of this lesson. So now the Sanskrit Bharati people are summarizing the learning for us from this simple conversation that you guys enacted. So learn the following conjugations of as root. As, present tense, past tense. Asti, santi. Asmi, smaha. They're only showing third person and first person, but we should learn it like this. You see here, this purple chart is the one to learn. Okay. Asti, staha, santi. Asi, sthaha, stha. Asmi, swaha, smaha. Very important dhatu, this as dhatu. Okay. Vartamana kala. To be. Then in past tense it becomes asit, astam, asan, asihi, astam, asta, asam, asva, asma. Okay. Future tense just for reference now, not yet being taught, but let us see what it is. Bhavishyati, bhavishyatah, bhavishyanti, bhavishyasi, bhavishyatah, bhavishyatha, bhavishyami, bhavishyavah, bhavishyamah. See how asdhatu get replaced with bhudhatu's form for future tense. This bhavishyati, bhavishyatah, bhavishyanti set is shared by asdhatu as well as bhudhatu. So here, for example, bhavati, bhavatah, bhavanti would be there in bhudhatu. That will actually nicely go to bhavishyati, bhavishyatah, bhavishyanti. But asther bhuhu is one of the sutras of Panini. Aster bhuhu, like that. Okay. So that sutra tells us use bhu dhatu's form like that under certain bhavishyat kala context. You would have told that. So bhavishyati, bhavishyatah, bhavishyanti, bhavishyasi, bhavishyatah, bhavishyata, bhavishyami, bhavishyavah, bhavishyamah. All right. Whereas Bhu Dhatu has distinct forms from As Dhatu in Bhutakala and Vartamana. Of course, we know Bhavati and then Abhavat, Abhavatam, Abhavan, like that it goes in Bhutakala. But like I told you, there is a subtle difference between As and Bhu Dhatu. Okay. Bhavati is having the sense of stays, so like that. Asti is just mere existence. Bhavati is having this conversion feeling in it. Okay. Becomes type of feeling in it, but not exactly that, but it's okay. All right. So we'll come back to their teaching. So asit, asana, asam, asma, they showed again. This believe me, please study tables like this. Okay. This will stay with you for life to turn into 9 forms and remember the kala and all that. Okay. And especially if you can sometimes read it with the sarvanama shabdas, it's better because then we know the pointer of the karta. Okay. Because they're all in kartari voice. Some words commonly used in Sanskrit conversation can be learnt from the following sentences. Api, also. Iti, in this way. Eva, only. Ataha, therefore. Cha, and yataha, because, since, like this. And few more maybe there next. No, that's all. Okay. So we had seen some of these avyaya shabdas, but they have relisted some here for us. So let us see that. Okay. Krishnaha palam kadati, Ramaha api phalam kadati, also. So Rama also eats the fruit. Okay. So this api in the sense here points to some relation to the previous sentence in that sense. Okay. So saha katham patati, saha kavitam api patati. Karta remains the same, but the karya switches the karma pada. So there he was reading a story. Now he is reading kavita, like that, some kavya. Okay. Iti, in this way. Satyam vada dharmam chara iti Taittariya Upanishad vadati. So some quote from Taittariya Upanishad has been pulled and iti has been put. We have seen enough examples of iti in this way, no? At the end of quotes today also in the story we read this. Okay. Iti Taittariya Upanishad vadati. So Taittariya is a growth on Tittiri. So the Rishi is Tittiri. Taittariya is Tittiri's Upanishad. So that apostrophe S method in Sanskritam is a Vriddhi Vidu. So it's called Taddita Prakriya. We use a Taddita Prakriya to convert Tittiri to Taittiriya. Okay. No, either Muni was called Tittiri, I don't know. It seems like the name of a bird, but that's fine. Okay, uttishtata, jagrata, lots. These are also in lot. Vada, chara, like that. Okay, uttishtata, jagrata, iti Swami Vivekananda vadati. So Vivekananda tells us, get up, wake up, like that. Okay, then eva. Okay, only. Saha annam eva kadati. Ayyo, he eats only rice. In fact, in English, in Indian English, you say he eats rice only, like that, right? That one. It's coming all the way from Samskritam. Eva. Okay, so it's common in all Indian languages. Oh, aata hi खाता hai, like that. He of Hindi. Sa griham eva gatavati. She went home only. Where else? Poor lady, like that. Ataha, therefore, so, due to that reason, ataha, therefore. Okay, so I don't know whether there is a tasil hidden, but it's like an avyaya for all purposes. Whether it's actually having a tasil in its original construction, I don't know. Aswasthyam asti, ataha saha vaidyalayam gacchati. Unhealthiness is there. Okay, swasthya is good, being good in the body. Aswasthya is not that. So that kind of thing is there, means arogya is not right, like that. Okay, ataha saha vaidyalayam gacchati. Therefore he goes to the hospital, house of the treating doctors. Vaidyalaya. Samayah nasti, ataha griham na gacchami. Oh, no time. I won't go home. Therefore, I won't go home. I'll stay in the library and study. We are hoping. That is the reason. All mothers are hoping like that. Cha, and. Okay. Vivekaha anandaha cha gacchati. Are? Not a good sentence. Not a good sentence. Even if you use cha, because two people are involved, you cannot use gacchati. You have to use gacchataha. Vivekaha anandaha cha gacchataha, it should have been. So there is an error. Because I cannot leave it there for future class. I will take your time to. Sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, just as a note that there is actually a correction there. Okay, so it has to be in dual mode. So balaha is very important. If there are multiple kartas, depending on the count of the kartas, the dhatu has to go to the correct vachana. That is the indelible rule. Otherwise, we have to state it as viveka ananda dvayam, but we cannot even use dvayam because there are two random names. It's not like purusha dvayam, mahila dvayam type, putra dvayam type. Okay, this dvayam also you cannot just randomly bring two unrelated entities and call it dvayam. It has to be chatra dvayam, if at all. Okay, so then you can prefix like vivekaha anandaha cha iti chatradvayam gacchati. Then it's okay because gacchati applies to chatradvayam. Iti is quoting Vivekananda as chatradvayam. Then it kind of fits. It's a little tough. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, leave it. Yes,
Mother,
Bhagini?
I have a question.
Mother,
As you just said about Gachatah, where will we find the, I mean, just like we have for Vartaman Kal, Latlakar, does this also have a matrix? Gachatah.
Gacchati, gachatah, gachanti, gacchasi, gachatah, gachatha, gacchami, gacchavaha, gacchamaha. Exactly like asti almost. Okay. Okay. Us
Okay,
and
it
ti.
is only showing the Dvivachan. Gachatah. Okay,
Staha,
okay.
gachatah. Right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing exotic there. It is lat lakara dvivachana. Same gachati became twins. That's all. Gachataha. So Balaha Samskritam Ganitam Vijnanam cha Patati. Here singular is okay, guys. You see why? Because Karta is one. Balaha Patati is the working portion of the Kriya relationship to the Karta. Kartarina. So however many things he reads. Okay, still he's just reading as one person. So Balaha Samskritam Patati, Balaha Ganitam Patati, Balaha Vijnanam Patati can be mixed into one sentence. Balaha Samskritam Ganitam Vijnanam cha Patati. So, or if you have to say Ramaha Samskritam Patati, Lakshmanaha Samskritam Patati, and Bharataha Samskritam Patati, if you say and want to combine that, then you should change the vachana. So you have to say Ramaha, Lakshmanaha, Bharataha cha Samskritam Pathanti. It will become plural. Okay? Or if it is Rama Lakshmana, Pathataha, it will become. Very important. Same thing you would do in your mother tongue, except in your mother tongues there is only singular and plural, so there is no dual. So, but you have to notice in Sanskritam you have to use dual if there are two subjects involved. Okay? Yataha, because, since. Okay, so yataha is like, you know, is like a prefix to this ataha type. This reason, when you put the reason yataha, and when you put the effect ataha. Okay. So so do you see this thing? See, saha upavasam acharati, the result, yataha, because, adya ekadashi. You, if you want to split it in two sentences, you say adya ekadashi, full stop, ataha saha upavasam acharati. So you can switch to the ataha mode if you split off the result. Okay, but if you want to lead off with the result, yataha is the technique to lead to quote the reason. Okay, saha blah 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 blah, yataha evam evam evam, kopi kimapi karoti, kimartam yataha artasya vivaranam evam evam asti iti. Okay, adya ekadashi asti. Okay. Actually, today is some auspicious day. Somebody was telling us before the class. Was it Venkateshwari? Ashadha Ekadashi. Yes. So this sentence is so appropriate.
Wonderful. Yeah. Very popular in Pandharpur. Yeah. Vittal. Yeah.
Today is that they do the jatra from various towns.
Varkari, it would complete, sir. Culmination happens.
Oh, it will be thunderous there today with drums and dances and all that. It's a sight. It's a sight. All the villages along the route become hosts for the hordes of people who do yatra, and feed them free food, give them free stay, take care of them, set up public bathrooms. It's very nice. The whole exercise is brilliant. I haven't been there during this jatra, but I've heard a lot about it from my wife, who is from that region. So who is along the path, all that. Yeah. Radha roditi yataha tasyaha udaravedana asti. So Radha cries because tasyaha udaravedana asti. Her stomach pain is there. May Radha get well soon. Okay. So nice examples. So let us do some abhyasa today. I was hoping we'll conclude today. Let's see. Maybe we can stretch it and we can call it finished for 7th lesson, or take it in the afternoon because we have a break and another lesson. So we can conclude in the afternoon and continue into 8th lesson. Change the following sentences into past tense. Dileepaha. Okay. Now what I will do, because crowdsourcing will generally mark others out. So let me call somebody to answer. Okay. Let me get involved. Devika Varye, Devika MN.
So,
Okay.
sir,
Yes.
actually, I regret to say that I not kept in touch with reading and all properly, sir. In fact, I wanted to talk to you about this classes, exams and all. First 2-3 classes I have not attended at all. So I've lost touch. What to
No,
do?
there
How
is
to record?
there is not all my classes are available in recording. All you need to do is spend 1.5 hours, 2 hours a day, follow one video with the book. Another day, another video with the book. Not too much effort. 1.5 hours, you listen to the class, keep the book and just follow along. Okay?
Mhm.
That is the only best way. Or you can
Mhm.
independently read the book. If you think that you don't need to spend so much time listening to the audio, you can independently read it. YouTube is also giving you a facility called 1.25x, 1.5x, etc. If you think the class is going very slowly, you can set it to 1.25% faster mode and follow along with the book. So 1.5 hours will compress to 1 hour. Like that you can try. Huh?
Yes, sir. I will definitely try. Now I will not be in a position, I think.
No problem, no problem. You can stand
Sorry.
by Bhagini. Stand by Bhagini, no problem. No enforcement that you should participate. I just call. That's all. Okay. Oh, I ended up disabling her mic. Please allow mic. Okay. Okay. Let us call upon Latha. Just Latha. Latha, not Latha Sundar Rajan. Just Latha. Bhagini.
It's
Variye. So you take up the couple of questions here. Dilipah Prasiddha Raja Asti. This is as if he is right now. So how can you switch it to past tense using any? Yeah.
Dilipah Prasiddha Raja. It should be Asi. Asita.
Asit, correct.
Asit.
Bhagini, actually, you see, in this question paper, answers are there in the next segment. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can use all the many times in Samskrita Bharati question paper also, no? If you don't start jumping into answering straight away, you read through the question paper. Sometimes hints are there in other questions about how to go about answering the previous question, etc. So it helps to comprehensively get the other example Sanskrit sentences from the question paper itself to use as prototypes. See here, all past tense sentences are there. Adya Mahati Vrishti, Asit, Asma, Asan, everything is there. So now it becomes a cheap game. I should have actually blacked out these when answering those. Next student set, I am going to give them more trouble. Now you guys have it easy. So now try again, Bhagini.
Aham Kashyam Asmi. Aham Kashyam Asam.
Awesome. Yeah, that AWSOME of English is there in awesome. Okay, anyway. So see here the table. The table is very simple, guys. I am opening up because we are all still learning. Asti staha santi, asi staha stha, asmi swaha smaha for Vartamana. The Bhuta version is asit, astam, asan, asihi, astam, asta. Okay. Asam, asva, asma. Okay.
The third one is Bahavaha Rishyaha Bharate Santi. Santi will come to Asan.
Bhava Rushayaha Bharate Asan.
Asan.
Very good.
Vayam Nagare Smaha. Vayam Nagare should come in. Asma.
Why are you having so much doubt? Everything is there in front of you. So Asma. Okay.
Asma.
So Vayam Nagare Asma. Thanks, Bhagini.
Yeah.
Thanks for participating. Okay, now we have Vasuki Variye's hand up. She wants to participate. She's feeling left out. Vasuki Variye?
No, not feeling left out. I'm here, so therefore.
No, Bhagini. I am just don't take everything I say.
No, sir. Same tone.
Please.
Mama grihe dasha denavaha asan. Mama grihe dasha denava santi.
Santi, very good. Okay. So at my home, there are 10 cows. One hopes it would be wonderful. Okay, next.
Adya mahati vrishtiha asit. Vrishtihi. Okay. Adya mahati vrishtihi asti.
Asti. Okay. Adya mahati vrishtihi asti. Idanim Bengaluru Nagare Idanim Paryantam Nasti. Hyaha अतीव वृष्टिः आसीत् बेङ्गलूरु नगरे अपि अस्तु नंबर 3 and 4 also भगिनी
Okay, aham nartika asam. Yeah, aham nartika asmi. No,
asmi, what is asmi? I never heard it.
Sorry. Asma, what?
Asam is bhutakala. What is it in present tense?
Asmi.
Asmi, not asmi. Remember, asmi. Okay.
Asmi.
See, it has become dirgha in bhutakala because of the extra akara added to as dhatu. A plus us everywhere. Because there is a at prefix added in bhutakala. Okay. So, asit, astam, asan, like that goes. But in vartamana, asti. And then itself disappears in the Dvivachana. But anyway, so the here there is no dirgha. So don't go asmi, asti, asi like that. It becomes neither here nor there type of word. Okay.
Okay. Vayam Beluru Nagare asma. Vayam Beluru Nagare smaha.
Smaha. Okay. Smaha. Vayam Bengaluru Nagare smaha. We are in Beluru. I'm sorry, not Bengaluru. Beluru Nagare. Beluru is that beautiful temple town north of us here with a wonderful Hoysala architecture. Must visit. Close to Hassan. Actually, part of Hassan district. So for those who are from outside Karnataka, don't worry about visiting Bengaluru. Visit Mysuru, Beluru, all those places. Bengaluru, maybe you have to land here to start with. That's all. Okay. There are wonderful things in Bangalore. I'm not saying not, but much more wonderful things are there away from Bangalore. Thanks, Bhagini. Well said. So now let us invite. Thanks, Bhagini. Let us invite Mrunalini Sharma. Varye. How can we not? A rich man also experiences difficulty. Can you give it a shot to translate?
Yeah, I'll try. Dhanikaha. Dhanikaha api.
Api, very good. Api, you threw in at the correct place. Yeah. Dhanikaha api.
Kashtam.
Kashtam. Anubhavati is enough. Anubhavati is enough. Okay. Anubhavati.
Present tense, no? Anubhavati.
Yeah. Experiences is in present tense anyway, right? So very good. Dhanikaha api. We don't need to translate a. Ekaha is not needed unnecessarily in Sanskritam. Okay. Dhanikaha api kashtam anubhavati. Very nice. So basically the technique here is we should not forget to use api, iti, eva, ataha, cha, yataha, etc. that we just learned. Okay, that's the idea. But still there is a lot more challenge in completing the sentence. Bhagini did a wonderful job. Dhanikaha api kashtam anubhavati. Where to put api? Why it matters? I have put a question so that I talk to you about it. Okay. See, if I put the api next to dhanika, we are referring to other kartas, and amongst those kartas, dhanika also as the api. It's very important api co-resides with dhanika. So for example, if I read this as dhanikaha kashtam api anubhavati, it means a rich fellow faces difficulty also. Okay, difficulty becomes the also entity. He faces many other things. Okay, but he faces difficulty also. It's not like we think, oh, look, he is a rich fellow. What is difficulty for him? So in that sense, yeah. So here it's more like even a rich fellow faces difficulty. There may be subtle relationship between the api placement there and here, but he has other anubhavas, but kashtam is one of his anubhavas, is the way we say if you put api after kashtam. In fact, if we switch api all the way to the end, dhanikaha kashtam anubhavati api. Okay, that is also little bit like kashtam api anubhavati sense. Okay, but it's like a whole whatever kriya karma everything gets included in that api. For this case it may not make much variation, but in another case the api being after kriya pada may make significant quality difference. So you have to be cognizant of where to place the api. It's exactly like your mother tongue. Okay, so dhanik धनिक भी, okay, धनिक आदमी भी कष्ट को सहता है और प्राप्त करते हैं, something like that. सहता है probably. My Hindi is very poor, so take my verbs. Okay, लेकिन धनिक कष्ट को भी सहता है. See, थोड़ा accent difference है. धनिक कष्ट सहता भी है. Okay, ऐसा अच्छा है ना, क्वालिटी डिफरेंस है ना तीनों में, वो क्वालिटी डिफरेंस संस्कृत में भी होता है. ठीक है, बहुत ट्रांसलेशन किया भगिनी ने. एक और करना है जी आपके आपसे.
Okay. Monkeys live only on the tree. Vanaraha वृक्षे वृक्ष एव
वृक्षे सप्तमी on the tree.
वृक्षे एव वसन्ति.
वृक्षे एव वसन्ति, एव only. Okay, so though in English leave only is next to live, but we know the sense is upon the tree only. Okay, vrikshe eva vasanti, they don't come down, etc. Okay, vanar kapayah or vanaraha vrikshe eva nivasanti, vasam kurvanti, vasanti, any of those are okay. Okay, where to put the eva again important. Okay, see now you see vanaraha eva vriksheva nivasanti means only monkeys live on the tree. Why are you climbing the tree? That sense. Okay, that's a difference, na? So it is meant for monkeys. Don't you climb like that? Or for example, vanaraha vrikshe nivasanti eva. That kind of sense means, ayo, what is new in looking at a monkey on a tree? They anyway live on a tree. That sense is there. Okay, so the accent changes again, just like api. Shifting it to the correct place makes huge quality difference in certain conveying the bhava. Notice that carefully. Okay, so when people say things can be thrown in any order, do not accept that so easily. Bring in these examples, right? So you see there is a bhava difference when you shift around, so be careful. At least the pair goes together. Vrikshe eva, dhanika api, pairs go in the sense of the English sentence. Okay. Thanks Bhagini, well done. Full marks.
धन्यवाद.
Dhanyavada. So I think Nilima Varye, I already asked, I think. Maybe she can participate. Nilima Divekar?
Yes.
Bhagini, how can we forget California? He did not say it is here only. So it's a little bit of Indian English, but you try to translate for us. First you go with it is here only, and then let us go to the rest.
Atraiva asti.
Wonderful. She even did the sandhi perfectly. Atraiva asti. Atraiva asti.
What do you call it is? It or it?
Not at all needed. Okay. Asti conveys the tat roughly, but you can say tat atra eva asti if you want to point to tat. Okay.
Tat atraiva asti iti saha na avadat.
Wow, Bhagini. You are straight to, I think you have to get double promotion to the next level. So, saha tat atra eva asti iti saha na avadat. Wonderful. Atra eva asti. I didn't even put that tat. Iti saha na avadat na uktavan. If you want to use ktavatu instead of avadat, that is uktavan. Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Bhagini. One more for you.
Aham patami. Working.
Karya.
Karyam karomi cha.
Very good. Aham patami, kama, karyam karomi cha. Very well done. So this puts the sentence levels cha almost. Okay. So aham patami, karyam karomi cha. So the cha is the connector between two sentences there. Okay. Even in I study and work also, I is the common, but there are two sentences. I work, I study, and also is like a connect. Okay. So aham patami, kama, karyam karomi cha. Or you can go this way. See, patami, you make it into infinitive form of verb. Then you can push it into one sentence like this. You see this. Aham vidyabhyasam karyam cha karomi. So the karma has been switched into cha. See these techniques, guys. Okay. So here the whole sentence was put into cha using a comma to separate the two related sentences. Aham patami karyam karomi cha. Easy for us. This is not too difficult for us because two simple sentence segments, best way to approach. But as you go into praudhavastha, then you can do the eka thing with the karma positioning of the kriya. Okay, see here. Aham vidyabhyasam karyam cha karomi. How much better it sounds, prouda it sounds, right? So the language has facilities like that to elevate us. Okay. So aham vidyabhyasam karyam cha karomi. Completely same. But of course, I have taken certain liberty. Actually, vidyabhyasa is a better translation for study than just patami. If you see, the liberty is not, it's actually quite accurate. Vidyabhyasa, study, karyam, work. Okay. Thanks, Bhagini. All the way from US, we have students attending in ungodly hours. You see, guys, the dedication. Okay. Rupa Jadhav Variye, you get the last two before we take a lunch break. Bhagini?
Yeah. I have interest, so I go to the assembly conference.
You can make it into two pieces, two sentences, but include the connector in between. That's all.
Interest is what?
Asakti. Asakti. Correct.
Asakti asti.
But asakti asti. You don't need to say anything beyond that. Correct. Asakti asti. Ataha.
Sabha. Gachami.
Gachami. Beautiful. See, Bhagini avoided complicating her life by trying to bring subject into the first part. Okay. It is easy to bring aham into the second part as an active voice. Asakti asti. There she has to go mama. Okay. She has to use shashti for aham. Okay. Mama asakti asti. My interest is there. You have to translate in that way in Sanskritam. I have interest has to be put in karmani in Sanskritam. Mayi asakti asti. You can also go that way. Mayi. Okay. In me. Okay. So mayi asakti asti atava mama asakti asti. Okay. Asakti is the karta there in that sentence. So I have to bring myself in some other vibhakti as per the relationship I can bring. Okay. Ataha aham sabham gachami. Gamishyami askubitron. Sabham, conference, assembly. Sabha is enough. Sabham gachami. Like, okay. Wonderfully done by sister. Mama asaktihi asti vartate is another dhatu that can be used. Ataha sabham gamishyami gachami. Okay. Pretty much she has done an accurate translation there. Bhagini, number 6 for you.
There are no students in the school because today is a holiday. Shalayam Chhatraha na santi.
Shalayam Chhatraha na santi.
Yataha.
Yataha.
Adyaha.
Adya. That's all. No aha. Adya.
Adya viramaha.
Very good. See, she extended. Adya virama dinam atva viramaha is also okay. So viramaha is enough. Okay. So very nicely said. So shalayam chhatraha na santi yataha adya virama dinam atva viramaha. Okay. So shalayam vidyarthinah chhatraha na santi yataha adya virama dinam asti. Viramaha is enough. Her ending is better, compact. Okay, what was the classic answers they had? So, this is say adya shalayam chatraha na santi yataha adya viramaha. So, like this, some examples they have also given. You can give variations also. Okay. So better what you do, after a while you come back and try this in your scratch book, compare against the textbook answers and correct yourself. Okay. So it'll be always a good exercise. So with that, let us conclude the morning class and gather back at 3 o'clock. I have really far exceeded the class limits. but I hope you guys will excuse me. So let's start with Subhashitam and end the 7th lesson in the afternoon session at 3 o'clock. Afternoon session, I'll try to be honest with 1 hour. Okay. All right. So we'll meet again at 3 o'clock, guys.